Hello, this is a video on how to change an oil seal on a transmission, automatic transmission. We got the bell housing off the engine, we got the torque converter out, and we're faced with this seal that's not shown right there, it's over here. And how to get it out. We didn't really have any good mechanism to pry on it, and so what we ended up doing, we had this slide hammer right here. You can see how that orange thing is the hammer part. And we undid the bit on the end and took a wood screw, put it through the bit, and then screwed into the side of the seal and screwed through the seal, just not at the interface between the seal and the aluminum housing, and not at the interface between the seal and the shaft, but kind of midway. And we actually screwed in just like a quarter of a turn too far and dimpled the housing, but that's not going to be a problem. So as soon as we got it screwed in, we gave it a few gentle taps with this hammer. We didn't want to do it so hard that it tore the screw out, and it just pulled the seal out easy as can be. So that's how to get a seal out, and there's a new one. So we'll show you how we put the new one in. Do you lube it first with anything?
I'm checking it for size, but it wouldn't be a bad idea to put a little something around it.
Yeah.
You hear the sound now?
Yeah.
That says it's home.
So what size socket was that?
This was a 1 13/16.
Okay. So we put the seal in with the lip facing down. In other words, the spring that you can see on the seal, the side of the spring, that faces towards the transmission, and it keeps the oil into the transmission. There's less resistance. That seal doesn't really provide a lot of resistance for fluid going this way, but it provides a lot of resistance for fluid going this way, which is what's important in this case. So we tapped it in with that socket. I did have a 3/4 inch drive set that we could have used until we found out the shaft sticking out was too long, and none of my sockets from that set would work. So we got another deeper socket and we used it to tap that in. If you didn't have that socket, well, you could gently.
Seal installers, but
what's that?
they actually do make seal installers.
Yeah.
It's just not everybody wants to spend money on a seal installer for a one-time job.
Right, right. And I've even put them in just by gently tapping all the way around the circumference. It takes a while, and you use careful.
You can use a tall, like, let's say 3/4 inch socket or something, and put the end in, the end down, where the extension or ratchet would go, so you have more surface touching the seal, and you can tap it in gently with that.
And you don't put any sealant around the outside of that seal, eh?
No.
Don't need it.
No.
Okay.
Just a little loop to make it go in.
Yeah.
And it's always good when you're putting in that, to put a little loop around it as well. Mm-hmm. And also keep in mind, before you take your torque converter off, make sure of the distance that it was in, and make sure you get it all the stages, because there's 2 splines here. Right. And there may be 2 or 3 positions before it seats all the way in. If you don't get it in properly and you start your car, you will damage everything.
So how do you get it in if it doesn't seem to want to go? You keep rotating?
You're just rotating it and turn and clunk, and then rotate, clunk, and then, you know.
So you don't have to pull it off to do the rotation?
No, you just keep, you know, turning it. And
when are you going to put that on?
When I lay the transmission back down flat.
Okay.
To have minimum
fluid everywhere.
Fluid everywhere, yeah.
So what we're going to do, I'm going to just stand off to the side here, and we'll see it go in, and you can just kind of talk us through the stages there, Kevin. I know you don't want to take time doing it, just...
Well, basically, you have to send it home quick because you're going to lose You're going to dump transmission fluid like that. Don't be afraid of a mess, but...
I'm back. Okay, take 2. That doesn't look like it's in as far as it was.
No, it's not where it should be.
No, it's probably not going to leak much right now, is it?
Okay, I just heard the
that sound, yeah.
And I remember the distance from here to there, and that is the correct place to be.
Okay.
I would say almost an inch.
20 centimeters it's in, because there's my 20 centimeter mark. So it's in 20 centimeters. Okay, so a little bit less than an inch. Okay, well, that's how you do the seal.
Yep.